Welcome to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Adam Peller and Billy Jeff and Barry Peterson. Game is over already. 6-2 your final.
Mr. Baseball Guy, you all right? I know you guys like fast games over there.
Listen, we have the pitch clock in baseball now.
Okay,
We're not used to these kind of long games anymore.
Well, hey, when you got some bad blood between teams, things go on. And on and on. And we can live with that once in a while, but it does feel long tonight. It does. Really long. Put it this way, I'm hoping to be recording Bruce soon. Not happening. Bruins. And I'm impressed that you're awake still.
Well, are you sure I am?
We had to give him a little bit of a nudge, tell him the postgame show was starting. But hey, all's well that ends well for the Bruins. They get off to a good start, a 4-0 start. They hang on. Things got a little dicey in that third period, to say the least, but the Bees able to come up with a much-needed 2 points tonight.
It was gritty. It was one of those situations you knew when you're down, McAvoy and Lindholm on that backside. You had some young guys come in. You knew it was going to be tough. Tampa Bay's a good hockey club. But they hung on. They did enough. And for 2 games in a row, as we're talking about the great game by Swayman again, Bobrovsky, he beats in Florida, and Vasilevskiy tonight, Tampa Bay. So he outplayed them, and he did his job. And the Bruins got enough offense. You got, 6 goals, no power play goals.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good. Too shorty, empty nets.
It was kind of pretty for a while, and then it got less pretty. What would be the term? I wouldn't call it ugly, but I would call it not pretty, but gutsy. When it was all said and done, it was a gutsy effort.
And you knew that this was going to be a physical game based on what we saw last game. Of course, we talked about the Lillibird situation with Kastelik. You could tell the Bruins, not targeting is the word, but they were looking for him.
Well, they're looking for everybody. Yeah. They weren't letting it, they were doing their part to. More than happy to oblige. I thought the physical play and all this stuff really picked up after the fight. Yeah, I thought when Frederic but challenged Lillibird, and they responded. What a battle that was.
Yeah, I thought, too, this was 2 teams that were very physical, and you hope right here, you hope Kepke's okay, because it got him right on the chin first, and, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But to me, this game, you knew was going to be physical just simply because we showed you the standings. You talk about the bad blood. This kind of felt like, to me, like an old Adams division game, when you got the old brawls and it was going to be a long effort. Man,
this is what I know the Bruins and Toronto are great rivals, but the composition of the Toronto Maple Leafs is vastly different than what we see with the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's a lot more, to your point, old Adams division, more old school in Tampa. And the Bruins, with their offseason move, they talked about being more like that again. Not just the fight part, but the physical part. And so this game, because of what happened in the previous one, had all those elements. And it lived up to its physical, the billing that we thought it would be. And it did in this one.
And Judd and Brick were talking about it during the game. Because the standings are so tightly congested, you're going to have some of these games. More games than not like this over the rest of the season.
I don't know if they'll be as physical as this one, though.
Not quite, but you'll have a lot more of these because you have a lot of divisional opponents down
the intensity is going to be picking up. There's a lot of teams fighting for playoff spots right now, and there's a lot of teams that aren't happy where they are right now, and that brings it out as well.
All right, start of the game presented by Subaru of New England. Fall in love with a brand new Subaru. Mentioned off the top, Jeremy Swayman, outstanding once again. Second consecutive game that he has stood on his head, and he has provided what the Bruins need.
Second time now, Adam, in the last 15 years, a Bruins goalie has back-to-back 40-plus save.
How many times?
2 times in the last second time last 15 years. Ullmark did it back in December of 21. And I guess it's only happened 9 times in Bruins history.
And they won both of them.
Yeah. So good stuff. And Swayman, you talked about it, Bear. Razor mentioned it. We locked in this one. Rebound control, excellent. His first save presence was almost perfectly spot on.
Yeah, I thought Brick summed it up pretty well as when he said he's making it look easy. But we're sitting here on the 5th floor, and you and I are looking at each other after all these point shots and deflections, having to scramble for the rebounds as the Bruins are kind of hanging on here as Tampa Bay's pouring it on. Tampa Bay's defense gets so involved in their offense, not only from the points, Billy, but they come all the way down the wall. They look in the slot. Boy, but he was sharp right from the get-go and looked unbelievably comfortable and locked in.
He was. I wouldn't be against him taking tomorrow off, though, if they have practice. take day off. They got a few days rest before
He's seen enough rubber the last couple of games.
Yeah. Call in the practice e-bug for this one.
Yeah, first
goalie Bob in net.
Maybe we get Tuukka. He's come to a couple of practices
right.
in the past. So they talk about the roster moves before the game. Matt Poitras, one of the moves that was made, and he set up Trent Frederic very nicely for the Bruins' first goal of the night.
Yeah, that he did, and it was a situation where the Bruins were able to kind of stop down low. Coyle gets it off, and Hedman gets caught. You don't see that very often. Now all of a sudden, you see Poitras, Tampa Bay defenseman goes down. He holds on to it. Vasilevskiy says, I can see this coming, Billy. I'm going to put my stick out there. But he slides it right under his stick to a perfect pass to Frederick.
Yeah, puck goes up through the neutral zone. But here is a good back check with the stick on the ice. And then the whiff by Hedman. Again, as I said in the first intermission, folks, you don't see that often. Poitras goes the other way. I really thought his speed was very noticeable there. Obviously, the kid's excited to be back up. He's been working on his conditioning, but also getting the puck on his stick more. He looks very comfortable with it here. Gets the defenseman to go down. Perbix ends up going down, and it goes by him, and it somehow just goes past the heel. This replay shows it best. Watch, the heel of the stick. That's played well by Vasilevskiy. However, he can't get to it. Once he's committed to that, and then Freddie stays wide. That's another key lesson. I don't know if any kids are up this late or not. Probably shouldn't be, but stay wide, go to that far post, and put it in there.
I thought Poitras, we saw a lot more of him early on.
Yes.
Early on in the hockey game. Then as the Bruins were trying to protect that lead, they were shorthanded, toward the end there. You didn't see him as much. But I thought early on he was very effective.
14-plus minutes in this game.
1-0 lead there, 2-0 after one, and then Brad Marchand. After the Lightning miss a golden opportunity at the other end, Victor Hedman misses the net, and it's Brad Marchand coming back the other way with David Pastrnak.
And guess what, Billy? You don't see that very often either.
No.
Hedman missing the net, and all of a sudden here, Pastrnak does a good job winning a one-on-one battle, and Marchand uses him as a screen. And again, you can kind of see Vasilevskiy loses his angle a little bit, Billy, as he comes sliding across. He thinks he's going to go short side on him, and he goes far.
Here's on the breakdown. Here's the opportunity that we're talking about, missing the net. And then away they go. The Bruins kind of go the other way. This is a good follow-up layer there by Pastrnak, the neutrals on the backhand at the Marchand. Marchand, as soon as he loads, he gets rid of it. And it's a classic, great Brad Marchand shot. Goes over. I mean, look at the glove is down. He doesn't have a chance to lift it up because the puck is ripped beautifully there and gives Boston a 3-0 lead.
Snaps a 9-game goalless drought for Brad Marchand. First 5-on-5 goals since December 7th. That came against the Flyers. And here are the numbers against the Lightning. Now 19 goals, 27 assists, good for 46 points in 50 games against Tampa Bay. And Andrew Raycroft caught up with the captain post-game.
Brad, huge game from Jeremy Swayman, huge game from a bunch of guys stepping up, huge games from the forwards, leadership. That was a good one.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good start. There's some periods of the game where we kind of let them take the momentum back, but ultimately, we got the job done at this time of year. That's all that matters, and some things we can be happy about and continue to build on, some things we can improve. So, by an incredible game by Sway. I thought Wotherspoon had an incredible game as well. He was great out there all night, and obviously Callahan and Vinny and Potsy were big additions to the group tonight, brought lots of energy, so it was good.
This league's all about stretches, right? And you're going to go up and down. It's a roller coaster. You guys are starting to go back up again. What can you take from that at those 6 games, and how do you keep growing your game?
Yeah, we just get away from the game that we need to play, the style we need to play to have success. And when we play it the right way, we're a really good team. We compete with anybody, but when we're not, then we don't play into we play in other teams' hands. So we just have to continue to be stingy, play above teams, play behind them, and we'll find success.
How nice is it to get a few days to practice here? Yeah. It doesn't happen often. It hasn't happened for you guys here in the last month at least. So nice to have 3 days at home. It
is, yeah. When you have practice time, you're able to get the compete level back up and work on a couple of things that can improve your game. We had a long stretch there where we really weren't practicing other than morning skates, and it's hard to practice on things or work on things that you need to. So excited about it. I'm sure it'll help us feel good, come Saturday.
Great job. Big win.
Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it. See ya.
All right, so that's the captain. Here are the numbers for David Pastrnak over the last 6 games. Now 7 goals. Again, we mentioned during the pregame show 3 multi-goal games in his last 5. Well, added a goal tonight, a 3-point night for number 88, including his 20th goal of the season.
And it's going to be a beautiful pass from Pavel Zacha, but before that, it's really this play right here. This looks like Sergei Zubov almost. Andrew Peeke coming through the middle of the ice, the right shot, the 10-2. And what I love about the shot, as I said during the intermission, it's up high, and it doesn't allow the goaltender Vasilevskiy to make a rebound control save.
No, he can't. And you can see them scramble a little bit. I also think the other key here was Zacha when he sees Pastrnak pretends he falls down, right? Like I'm going to pretend I lose my edge a little bit here, and then, oh, by the way, Zacha, now give me the puck. And then he just absolutely one-times it. So Andrew Peeke was another one of those guys that was very solid this evening, Billy. And again, when we go back to your top 2 defense are out, you're going to need some guys on the back end to pick it up.
9 straight 20-goal seasons now for David Pastrnak, tied for 4th place in Bruins history. His teammate Brad Marchand with 11.
He looks a little different now, doesn't he? Again, a little bit. The last 2 or 3 weeks, he looks comfortable. Some of his comments, if you read between the lines, it doesn't sound like he was 100%. Right? It just wasn't. Now,
go ahead.
Finish up.
The ice time that he's been playing.
Yeah.
So he has to be better, right, Bear? I mean, 24-something? What was it? 24 and a half minutes against Florida. I mean,
but the speed he's going with, he's doing things at a high speed again, and he's looking like he's able to get shots off. And of course, once he gets his shots off, then the guy's got to start cheating to him. When they start cheating, then he starts making nice plays all over.
So David Pastrnak with his 20th goal of the year, and Parker Wotherspoon with his first goal of his NHL career. He is the 3rd star for the Bruins tonight.